Ryan here, and I am also otherwise known as Periscope Ryan, and I have with me, I have Greg Watson here. He is right there. Greg is actually he's on this side. Greg is going to do a demonstration of how a realtor can do a walkthrough of a property using a smartphone. He's using a smartphone and his earbuds, and obviously using Blab. And the reason why we want to do this is just show a proof of concept. We've been doing this for a couple of weeks now, and we've refined the process better and better every time. We're using some tools. One of the tools is one of these, which is called an Olo clip with the iPhone, which allows him to have a fisheye perspective there. Or a wide angle lens perspective, because you've got these small boxes here, and we want to be able to show as much of the property as possible in order to demonstrate and show the property. Now, the best way, now Dave Stockton's going to join here as well. The best way to do this, we think, is nice. There's the cat. Nice. Dave, we really need you to. If you're gonna, there's Dave. Okay. Dave, are you were on before? Are you going to be able to show the?
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Are you okay? Great. Awesome. Oh yeah, you're the okay. Good. So Dave is Greg's IT guy and general
administrator and
everything. And so Dave is going to demonstrate how he can. He was just showing off there with the cat thing. Was that a loop or was that your real cat? Okay. You're just showing off. All right, I love it. All right, so what? I love it. All right, did the beer cart already go around today or no? So in the other, what we're gonna do is and this is the proof of concept that I wanted to get. Okay. So I just had to mute Dave. Okay. So in the other seat, imagine, if you will, as a realtor, being able to have some other people come in that are actually buyers. Okay. So Greg could do a showing. You could do a showing in this box, and then you could have Dave, which is what he's going to do. He's actually going to be live from a walkthrough tour and he's going to be showing properties just like that. And then you got Dennis here. Okay, so look, he's showing properties. This is a recording. This is a recording of a property. We've got Dennis here. So Dennis is on. I didn't realize Dennis was on, actually. So Dennis.
Hi, guys.
Hey, very good. So here's the concept. One guy right here, Greg Watson, or right here, showing a property live. Another person right here showing properties from the home office and kind of being the control the central control office, being able to show other properties and from the actual like that other video box. And then you've got another video box here being used for anybody else that wants to show a property. And then where Dennis is at, he's going to ask questions about the properties that are being shown. Now, I do want to say this is very, very important for Kevin and for Christian. I want you guys to see this. This is what's so powerful about this Blab live stream technology is, number one, if I just made Greg the main screen and I went away and I took Dennis away and I took Dave away, his box would take up almost the entire YouTube screen. Very, very important for you to understand. If I jumped in and there was two boxes with Greg and myself, they would expand to a different size. And then when you go to 3 and 4, it takes up a different size. So when you upload these videos to YouTube, that's a very important consideration when you're actually uploading these. So let's just go through really quick. And I'm gonna do so you've got Dave doing a walkthrough tour below. Greg, why don't you just go ahead and just start your walkthrough tour and just give an example of what this would look like and how the experience would go. So go ahead.
Okay, so I'll just ask Dave to pause that video if possible, because the idea is you can show properties after one another, one at a time, not simultaneously. So he's popped his cat back on, which so maybe just pause the video on that house, Dave. So this is how a video walkthrough would go on Blab, and again, it's proof of concept. So I'll just turn the camera around.
Yep. Okay.
And so what I would have done in advance, Ryan and Dennis, and to the listeners, is that I've sent out to my database of buyers the fact that I'm doing a marketing preview from a property and that they can tune in and watch. So feel free to ask any questions, and Dennis is assuming the role voluntarily of being a buyer. But I'm just going to talk a little bit about what we're seeing here. We're up on a very popular location here, Dennis, which looks out over Palmerston North City. At night time, you'd have lights all along this valley. And as you look this way, although it's hard to see in the camera, there's a wind farm, which is just wonderful and peaceful to watch. You can see your views fairly unobstructed. There's a observatory just over there, which gives you an idea of how...
Sorry, Greg, but just a quick question. That wind farm, is that noisy?
Not from this distance. That's a great question, Dennis. So you can probably possibly benefit from the power going into the grid and the peaceful view without needing to worry at all about the noise. Okay. So no, there's no noise there. Here's a view of the rear of the property.
How far is that from town? Like, is that walking distance or is that a drive?
Well, Dennis, if you were to walk at the university or one of the science institutes, you could walk through beautiful walking tracks. Let me pan around a bit and show you this whole area is covered in walking tracks, which is brilliant. So you could walk to town. It would probably take you 20 minutes or half an hour. But if you drove, it would take about 5 minutes. So again, this is the power of the interactiveness, Ryan, isn't it, of the live stream?
Yep. Love it.
And how long's this property been on the market for, Greg?
This one just a few weeks. This is a rental property for the realtors watching, so it's actually a rental property. And but you could equally do this for a property that's for sale. But Dennis, what I think you'll love, I know we've talked before about how you love the floor to ceiling windows in homes, and it creates lots of light. So look at this. It's like a half of an octagon, which you can sit here at the dining table with wife and kids. If anyone else
that
has
really
any
does
questions,
bring the indoors, the outdoors into the inside of the property, doesn't it?
It's very clever. It's very clever. So, and plus, if you drop anything on the floor, it's tiles. So no problem there with kids.
So don't drop my iPhone. How much is that property, Greg?
This property, Dennis, is $570 per week. As you know, in New Zealand, we charge a weekly rent. And that's 570 New Zealand dollars. So if you were moving it across from Australia...
is that a mouse on the floor there in the kitchen? What's that black thing?
This is a decorative tile.
Love it.
Sorry, I had to.
Love it.
I had to. Or is it a dead kiwi?
So what I might do is, let's say, just for the viewers' benefit, if Dennis didn't like this property, like if he said, Greg, I might stop you now, we might look at the next one. I prefer a home which has got a bit more character. Well, then Dave, who in this exercise is pretending he's actually at that house, then he can comment on it if he was at the house, or I can comment on it. And we're now showing Dennis the second house, even though Dennis is not in the region. So what do the viewers think of that?
And I want to add one more thing here. So here's the concept that we came up with, and I want you guys to understand. This is really, really powerful. So what would happen is Dave, being from the central office, would actually be choreographing, if you will, this whole process. Okay, so I know. So Jenny Q and some of these people are starting to get. So she just said this makes me like giddy, not kid. Like people are starting to get this. I want you guys to understand, because here's the power: is that what happens is Dave, when he realizes that Dennis is interested in this property, and he will then start another blab and actually start another blab about that specific property, and then you can go in and you can actually show that property and do a private blab for him and any other people that want to just go off and learn about that property. So what you do is you have 3 showings at once, and then you break people off based on which property they want to learn more about. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
So that's the concept. So it starts with one blab, and then it breaks off into 3 different blabs based on which properties the people are interested in. So
if I ask for air conditioning, has this property got air conditioning, Greg? Greg says no. Dave goes, hey, I'll take over. Mine does.
Yeah, that's correct.
Exactly. So it's not Fireman Rich. It's not there's no such thing as a private blab. I get that. So, but what you can do is have let me just say it differently. It's a segregated blab. It's one that's separate from this one, and it's different. It's not private in the sense that it's just for that person, and there's no such thing as a private blab like you can do a private Periscope. You can do one-on-one Periscopes where it's just for one, you and one person. You can't do that with Blab yet. So I just want to clarify that. So hey, and I just want to get a comment, Christian and Kevin. I want you guys to give me some comments here. Let me know what you think. If you're a realtor in the house, I need some feedback because these guys are taking a lot of effort to really go through and develop this, and I really need some feedback from you guys because we've been developing this and really like brainstorming about this, and all I ask is that you guys just give some feedback. The YouTube feature is amazing. Yes, we can upload these videos to YouTube, and basically that's what makes these videos live forever. So you do this once, and there's Greg right there. You do this once, and all these videos are recorded. Now, I mean, do you guys, what do you think? So do prospects need to download and sign up for Blab? No, you can just get onto Blab using Chrome. Fireman Rich, correct me if I'm wrong, but somebody can just basically observe from a desktop or a laptop. Do they have to connect? I believe they have to connect with their Twitter account. I don't think they have to. Now, if you're using Blab from your smartphone, I think that they actually do have to connect with their Twitter account or at least a cell phone number. Can you give me some feedback on that? Because I know Mitch Jackson just joined. Okay. So Mitch is an attorney, and Mitch. So we're actually doing another walkthrough tour here just to give proof of concept here. I saw you earlier today, by the way. So Mitch, give some feedback on what you see and what you think. And Greg is actually doing a really good walkthrough tour. He's got a much better cell phone connection today, and it's just turning out just awesome. I mean, you can see. Very clearly the property. Dennis has been playing the role of the person asking questions.
He's using an Olo clip.
Yes, he is using an Olo clip. Yep. So go ahead and Greg and just keep showing the property. And then we've got Dave down here in Stockley from home office, and he's actually showing video clips of other properties based on some of the questions that Dennis is asking. So we've got a lot of things going on here. Now, what we said, just to reset, is that if one person is interested in, say, this property right here that Greg is showing, then we'll have Dave, who's at headquarters. He will actually start another Blab and let people go and see the property in another Blab. That way, I like the view through the windows looking outside. These are different properties. Yes. Now, this is just one property, right, Greg?
No, I'm at one property. Dave is not. He's showing a video. So ordinarily, for buyers that were tuning in, we would only show one stream at once. For example, Dave would maybe at the moment be paused. But like Ryan says, he can start up a second Blab. If Dennis said to me, Greg, the home that you're at's too modern, I like the older style, well, then he could hop over to Dave's Blab. But Mitch, I love this view as well, by the way. Slightly unusual. It's like an octagon shape. This is a dining room. So beautiful house. And the nice thing with Blab is you
could put a pool table in there.
You absolutely could. You could, Dennis, too. You just wouldn't want to do a jump shot off the table through the window, but you could certainly fit one in here, no trouble at all.
Right.
So you look at how large that is, guys. I am using a wide angle, but it's not one of these silly wide angles. It is actually a very large space.
Yeah.
And the great thing with Blab is any of you could ask questions about this as we go. And just for those who tuned in a little bit later, what we would probably do, or what we do is we have a database of prospective tenants who we notify that tenants who are looking in this price range, this style of house, we can notify them a day or two ahead of time.
Yeah.
Then that gives them time to arrange the Twitter, arrange Blab or Periscope, depending on which way we're doing it. And so that then you say on Friday at 2 p.m, we're going to be doing an awesome marketing preview. And so this would be something that they get exclusive access to, but they're also likely to pay more money because of the people that this property would suit.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, can I just ask a question because I might be interested in renting this property?
Sure.
Can I have a look at the bathroom, please?
Yeah, no problem. Dennis,
the bathroom's quite important to my wife.
Sure.
And the kitchen, it ticks the boxes, but, the bathroom's quite important. I've got 3 daughters.
Yes.
And I need that space, if that's okay.
Well, Dennis, we've got 1 bedroom downstairs, which one of your daughters could use, and should be able to take advantage of the shower, toilet, and hand basin on this particular level. And I'll just pop you upstairs where there's a further 2 bathrooms. So the great thing about the main bathroom, just while I'm going up the stairs, is it's got a spa bath, which I don't know if you have a stressful job or if the wife would like to, relax and put a...
Yeah, well, I train real estates and they're quite stressful to train, so I need a spa.
Yeah, fair enough too.
Especially that Greg Watson guy. He is.
Yeah. so this is the spa bath. Look at that. It's not only that, Dennis, but imagine if you're sitting in it, you can just look out at that view. Of course.
Okay, when's this property available?
It's available now, and so that's not all. There is one more ensuite. You're mentioning it's important to your wife, so we'll just pop into the main bedroom here, Dennis. So, notwithstanding the fact we're now on the 3rd floor, this is a 3-storied house. Majestic views. And Dennis, I know you've got a substantial crocodile shoe collection, so brilliant walk-in wardrobe there. But let's show you the bathroom.
Oh, brilliant! Yep, my Cobra could go in there too.
So you can see, folks, how it is interactive, and you can imagine having as viewers 20 or 30 people who are asking questions who are outside my area, my geographic area. So they can't meet me here, but they can have a look through and rent the property. It's a really great advantage.
As an example, we're in 2 different countries. I'm in Australia and Greg's in New Zealand. So we're a few thousand miles apart. So that's a prime example. If I was an international person moving into New Zealand, you've just opened the door for me to have a look at a property rather than just looking at photos.
And for the realtors in the room, it's also giving my clients, the people whose house this is, a massive advantage over the competition, because what's Dennis's other alternative? All he could do is travel to New Zealand. He could maybe watch an advertising video, but this way Dennis can interact and ask questions about as specific as the bathroom question.
Sure, you can get a real good size of that main bathroom looked quite big.
Yes,
which is great. And that bedroom, that's the room that you're in now is the master bedroom. That's quite big.
Yeah, look at this.
So
I don't know, flip this around. Look, it's huge because the bed would fit here. Yeah. I'm standing on a bit.
I love the way you're using your like the weather. I call it the weather. The weather person uses their hand to kind of point things out. That's a great seriously, that's a really good use of your just to demonstrate things and to show things. A lot of people don't do that, and that's a really good thing to do. So
and you can, it's just a great way of giving a really good idea about things. And I'm not saying, and just to clarify something, Ryan, we're not suggesting people replace advertising videos. This is this is supplementary. Yeah. So before we actually came onto this live stream, I walked around the house and I filmed an advertising video. So that's but this is also something that can be recorded and shown to people later.
Yeah, you're doing both. You're recording a walkthrough video using your iPhone, and then this is more interactive. It's live. It's set up, and you're creating a little bit of competition, possibly, because you're getting people to jump in and they're asking questions that other people might not know to ask. It's augmenting or adding to the other.
Can I also just add to this? Obviously, it's linked in with Twitter. Okay, the Blab. Yep. It's all combined. So if you're hashtagging your real estate office, that and the property that you're at, that's actually building your SEO optimization as well. So you've got your normal video. You're also doing these live, because you could do a blab of the same property 3 times over 3 weeks, or even less if it's needed.
Yes, yeah, you could totally do that, and the key is as Fireman Rich said, the key is just setting this up beforehand and blasting out the link to your list and letting them know that you're actually going to be doing this now. And somebody asked where in New Zealand.
We're in a city called Palmerston North. Just look up Watson Real Estate, Palmerston North.
Yeah. And here's what's going to happen is when people see that you're broadcasting live from Palmerston North and you're doing it on a regular basis, you're going to be known as the live streaming guy that shows properties in Palmerston North. That's what's going to separate you. That's the long-term play. And just the fact that you're doing these, like we talked about before, you might have some co-broke opportunities, and you might even have some realtors that don't want to do this sort of stuff, and they don't know how to do it. Or what we have over here in the U.S., we call them FSBOs, for sale by owners. You go in, you do one of these, and you show them that you're doing this, and they see this, they're going to love to do something like, they're going to love to work with somebody like you that's doing something this cutting edge. Different is better, And so if you're doing something like this, that's different, it's going to separate you from everybody else.
Well, you're now bringing the client to the property up against just relying on people to come to the property. You can now open the door, like have a bigger funnel of people viewing a property. Previously, you only got the bottom people who have got the time to take off work or have got to do it on the Saturday morning or whatever. Now you're opening the funnel. People can watch it while they're at work. They can watch it while they're on holidays.
Yeah, exactly. You're making it easier for them, and to basically be able to observe the property. We want to be able to. And here's the other thing: if you've got buyers from other countries, like Dubai, or you've got some areas where you've got a big, a lot of buyers from China and Dubai, and they're buying in one specific area. I mean, this is the best way. This is probably the only way they could see the property, live, where they could actually interact with you, and you could say, oh, let me show you this one little area and go in a little bit closer there. It gives them a totally different feel than a video that's already pre-recorded. It's not, what I'm saying? And they get to, and you also get time, you get FaceTime. Here's the other advantage. They get to look into your digital eyeballs as the broker and as the person that potentially will be representing them. You want that kind of time. I want that. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I want that kind of time with the people that I'm doing business with. You create a relationship with those people. When you're basically having a webinar with potentially 10, 15, 20 of the most important people you can spend time with.
Ryan, people like to deal and trust people that they're buying and renting through. If you can gain a client's trust and they can gain your personality and they can catch who you are as a person, they're more likely to want to deal with you over than any other agency.
Yes.
Exactly. That's the thing I want. That's the thing that I want. And see, like, you got the owner.
I'm actually showing the house right now on the internet, believe it or not. So you're very welcome.
So the owner,
if you have any questions, let me know.
Okay. So you have somebody that's actually seeing the property as well. So you've got. So see, and that's another thing. So you could have other people that are seeing the property, and you can create a competitive type atmosphere where you have an open house, and then you do this on top of it, and you have people that are buyers. They're going to be like, "Man, you're selling properties. I mean, you're doing this. I mean, this is
down here's got fantastic walking tracks. So you can see a little table and chairs down there. Ryan, you might want to mute me for a minute.
Excuse me, Greg. Have you told him that you've got 20 or 30 prospective people looking at this property at the same time at the moment?
Yeah, no. You guys just mute me, and I'll just say the same.
Tell him that you've got some.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. Right. That's a really
so
good
got beautiful
point, because ultimately,
sun,
I mean, he's got the ability, and this is what he's going to learn. Is that he's got the ability to leverage the fact that he can say, like tonight, I did a Periscope. I was at the mall.
It's just I'm
at the mall, and but one of my buddies, John, he comes up to me. He's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "I've got my earbuds on. I've got my Olo clip on my phone," and I'm like, I'm showing him that I'm doing Periscope, and I showed him that there was like 30 people on, and there was like 35, 40, 50, 100 people on, and they were commenting, and they were saying, "Hey, John," and he was just like, "What is that?"
I'm sorry.
So when people see that and they experience it really, it really.
You can have a dining table here.
Awesome, Jenny. Awesome to have you in here. Let's see if we got
have a look around.
Another seat to open up here. We got Jonas.
The door will be closed,
I would love
to
have Christian here, or Kevin, or any other realtor that has any questions about this property.
Let me know. Yeah.
I like what Victoria Tays asked there. She knows the topic isn't in her industry, but liking hearing about how different It's jumping up. The niche markets are using, and I mean, even if you don't mind me asking, Victoria, what's your market? Let me just click on your profile. Director, creative industry, social media management, training, and PR blend. There's no reason why you personally couldn't even bring this into your own market, especially when it's all related around social media.
Yeah. Well, she is. She's consulting with other business owners that social media and digital. I already am. So she's doing this very similar to what I'm doing. We all see. Here's the unique thing: is we all have our own niches. Like I'm in the property management niche. I'm in with property managers and realtors, and so that's why I'm spending my time figuring this out for this niche. That's why I'm leading the charge. Like I'm not waiting for somebody else to set this up. I'm not waiting for somebody else to figure this out. I'm figuring this out on my own, and you guys are basically, and this is what's great for you, Dennis, as well, is by all of us figuring this out, we're the leaders, we're the authority in the marketplace in that particular niche. And that's what's happening right now is there's niches out there that are open for people to stake a claim in. And really, what we're doing as the leaders is we're saying, look, you guys can either come on and come along and get on board, or you're going to be left behind. And we can lead that charge and really become the authority, in the marketplace. And when we do that, I think what happens is as people in our niche, we in our profession, we elevate our ability to be able to help them, and that's what's really cool, and that's what's fun about it. Here. There's Greg's back. I can hear you, Greg.
Great,
awesome.
Greg, did you lease the property? I haven't asked the questions. Listen, buddy, I want to hear you being proactive in getting rid of this property, mate. And this is what training's all about. So you need to ask him, how does this property compare to other ones that you've viewed?
Yep.
Alex,
come on. What do you feel? Hey, how do you feel about this property compared to others that you've had a look at so far?
Oh yeah, I haven't had a look yet. I'm from Northern actually. I'm coming for an interview.
Oh, good.
Today.
Job interview, great.
Good.
I'll give you.
Yes, so we're looking at there was 2 properties in the
Yes. What?
This one and.
Yeah, this home's just lovely. The people that have lived here previously have just loved it. It's hard to tell today. I've had the doors open. It's got a bit of a cool breeze blowing through. There's my card as well. So
will you be applying for this property?
Yeah, I've got some application forms downstairs if you want to take one, and I'll give one to you before you go, and then you can just fill it out if you feel it suits, and if not, we'll show you through the other one as well.
Okay.
And I'll give you a follow-up call tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tell them.
Just leave me alone.
That was awesome. We're good. Okay, let me just tell you guys what just happened there. So, Alex, you got to see. So Dennis, just so you guys that don't know what's going on here, so Dennis is actually a coach for property managers, and he's working with Greg. So what's happening is a lot of things. There's a lot of things going on here. First, Greg is actually demonstrating a proof of concept here, which is that we can actually sell properties on Blab, multiple properties at one time. And what's interesting is that Dennis took the opportunity to give some coaching to Greg because a buyer actually showed up. And so Greg had his little earbuds in, so he was able to coach Greg without the other guy knowing, and literally like give him like a play-by-play, like the guy that doesn't know how to how to go out on dates, that's getting like coaching tips. I love it, man. I love it. So here's Alex Khan jumping in. I love it.
We the interview at 1, so I thought, let me just have a look.
Yeah. So the gentleman that's with me just was driving around. He's here from out of town. So yeah, I might just quickly arrange another viewing for him, so you can pop me on mute for a minute if you need to, and I'll just arrange.
No, hang on a minute. So is there a full lease sign out the front that he saw, and that's what made him come inside?
Actually, how did you, if you don't mind me asking, how did you find your way to the property? Was it through our internet site, or were you just?
Yeah, we were Googling.
Oh, Google.
Mail to,
oh, great.
To that guy.
Oh, neat.
It was Google. That's me, baby. That's me. That's my.
Yeah, no, that's good.
Okay. So just so you know,
hold on, Ryan. You need.
Okay. Nice Timetto Road. Yeah, that's nice.
You got to see. There's so many layers of things that are going on here that you can't even fathom.
Greg, no, get him the job. Then he'll apply for the property.
Alex, you got to hear this. Alex, seriously. So I'm actually I coach Greg on internet marketing. Okay, so
it's probably
there's a guy that walked into his house while he was showing it on Blab. That guy right there.
A similar distance.
And so we're showing the property on Blab, proving the concept that you can actually sell a property on Blab. Dennis right here is actually Greg's coach for property management, like how to basically like sell and like bring people through leases and stuff like that. So we find out in that one deal that he just got there that guy basically got there because of marketing that I do for Greg, and Dennis helped him close the deal almost just in that interaction right there. Had him ask all the right questions. There was something going on there. That was like a phenomenal use of case study of Blab right there. What do you think?
This is a new way of coaching for me. I can have these guys walking through the house doing presentations, and I can tell them how to ask the questions.
Yeah,
it's a good one. So, what do you think, Alex? So, Alex, Dennis, Alex.
Hi, Alex. We need to mute Greg.
So,
I've just muted Greg because that wind was terrible.
So I'll leave for a moment.
Well, there's a lot going on. I'm just trying to prove the concept that we can actually sell a property. Using a real estate. I mean, basically, this is a huge use case because I think that, I mean, you can see he's using, he's got his iPad there too, but he's using his iPhone with the wide angle lens to be able to show the property, and it's working phenomenally. I mean, you can see every angle. Dennis is asking questions. Is he showing his Google Plus listing with all his reviews? Okay, because this is what I do. I helped him get all those reviews for his
if you're going for job interviews in the industrial area
for his business. If you look up Watson Integrity, you'll see he's one of my clients for reputation management marketing.
Just out here.
And just so you know, Dennis, Alex is speaking. He's one of the keynote speakers at the Periscope Summit. So he's a regular live streamer. I just wanted to bring him on just to kind of introduce you guys. So
15-minute drive. Do when you come in from this side is you can bypass the city. See that?
Nice to meet you too.
Like that.
So
and most of the traffic
I actually met
the city centre itself. Yeah.
Say again.
I was just going to say I actually met Ryan through.
The nice thing with this property, though, although
sorry guys, you guys got
there's a lot of nice things about living here. Actually, both properties are quite. There's a.
I was just saying I met Ryan through Greg.
In this area in particular, there's a huge number of walkways just down in these valleys.
What'd you say?
And they go to the university and they go all around. So it's a nice area. You've got it's certainly a nice.
Oh, okay. Yeah, get your headphones on.
So,
so
I think either of the
I met Dennis through Greg, and we've got 28 people on here, guys. If you missed what just happened there. Antonio just jumped in. Victoria is in here.
It is?
Really, really cool. Not selling to me. I've asked 3 times where is the property. No, he did say the property is in Palmerston North.
But we can maybe have someone show you.
I specifically said that. I said that. He said Palmerston North. I don't know exactly where in Palmerston North, what the exact address is. So anyway, we're just we're just doing like a proof of concept here, just to show that other realtors. And I invited some of my friends, Christian Penner, who was on earlier, Kevin Leonard, who was on earlier. And if you guys that came in a little bit later, you can go back and watch the beginning, where we very clearly demonstrate that in this little box right here, you can do a lot of property showing. And where is Palmerston North? It's not in a state. It's in New Zealand. What state in New Zealand? Here, Greg. What
it's
state
in the
is
South Island. It's actually, they don't have states in New Zealand. They have regions.
Yeah, it's in the
There's about 20 regions in New Zealand.
Yeah,
New Zealand's a very small country in comparison to America.
Yeah, Manawatu.
Yeah, Manawatu.
It's one of the regions there, Palmerston North. It's New Zealand fits into Australia about 10 times, and I'm from Australia. So
So just in case you're wondering,
I think Greg might be back on. Is he?
Yes, I am.
Yep. He is.
So
excellent.
Manawatu is in the central North Island. Just in the distance there, which through this camera you can't quite see, is a volcano, ski fields. It's volcano and ski fields. It's 2 hours drive. There's a huge lake, about 2.5 hours drive, beautiful for recreation. if you go this way a little bit, half an hour to the beach. Okay, admittedly not as warm as Dennis's beaches in Australia or Ryan's, and you've got all these beautiful walking tracks here as well, and it's only 2 hours from our capital city, so good place to live.
Yeah, it is. It's beautiful there, and it's it seems very quiet. How much is that house? How much would that house run in U.S. dollars? Now I know the exchange rate's a little bit poor right now. So
are you asking for the rental amount?
No, the buying. If I was buying,
this one here is probably around the late 400s, thousands, in US,
is that in
US dollars.
In US?
Okay,
$400,000.
It's probably about 480, I would guess. But I actually, because I'm not for the realtors watching, I'm not a salesperson as such, so I couldn't immediately tell you what this home is worth to purchase. But it's probably about 480. In terms of US dollars. So should we show, so that's around about 250k in British pounds. So that's right. So look forward to seeing you soon when you move over and buy the house.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
I'll do a special deal for you guys. Yeah.
Yeah, we can make it.
Ryan wants commission if it sells now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Yeah. You can get me for free. You can get me for free. Okay. Bad hair day though, so just ignore that.
Do they have New Zealand rugby jumpers there as doormats, or what's the go?
No, those normally hang up in the trophy room normally. So,
right, that's awesome. Okay, so here's the deal, guys.
I've got you on there, Ryan. I need to get into the San Francisco 49ers, mate. You've got a key Australian footballer over there playing. Hey,
I know. Corey keeps reminding me of that he shows me all the replays for all the runs that he basically creates. Like, I don't know how he gets it, but he gets you guys are crazy about this guy over in Australia, because he basically creates this clip of just all of his running plays from the previous week. And he's like, here, check this out. The guy is awesome. I have to say, he is doing amazing.
He was a superstar in Australia and New Zealand. He was very highly regarded. So it was a big loss when he left our sport and went over to play NFL. And I'm actually a 49ers supporter, so I'm happy he's gone to my team. Nice.
Well, okay, so let me just ask really quick. So to stay on Alex and anybody else here. Now, Greg, you're getting a lot of feedback
no problem,
there.
Nick.
Yeah. Oh, are you using the mic, or what are you using? Your audio?
Yeah, so far as I know, the mic's plugged in.
Okay. Oh, that's right. So one of the challenges with Blab is that you cannot use your Smart Lob Plus. So this is what I use, is my Rode Smart Lob Plus that has the little, it's got the little foam thing on there, so it protects the mic from any type of wind noise. So obviously with your earbuds, which is what you really have to use, we found that out the hard way last time. So we've made these better every single time. I mean, we've got this down to a science with, the first step being you create the actual Blab, okay? First step is you create the Blab, okay? You set it up in advance. You grab the link to the Blab. You send it out to all the people that are buyers. Second step is you go live, and you make sure that you have a good Wi-Fi connection and or a cell phone connection. The best thing is to have a great Wi-Fi connection in the actual property if you can. Use earbuds. Make sure you use earbuds. And then thirdly, make sure you upload the video directly to YouTube afterwards so that you've got some longevity to it. And you've got, not just longevity, but you've got some more oomph behind it because of Google. So let me get Nick in here just to see what questions he has and what comments. Dimitri Morgan. Hey, Dimitri. He's on my team. What's up, Dimitri? Okay, so hey, Nick, how you doing? Oh, we can't hear you.
Can you hear me?
I can. Now we can.
Yeah, no, I just I've been watching you guys do this, and I thought it's a pretty fantastic way to sell. And I thought Dennis was doing a great job of asking the questions that a potential buyer would be asking about the wind farm and what type of foot traffic do you have near there, and just really impressed with this whole setup. And then the guy coming in was fantastic,
right?
Can't write that.
So we might have to. I mean, we might have to actually rent him to other people. Your guy, that is it, Dave? Greg,
Dave stopped me. Yeah, he's great.
Dave is phenomenal because seriously, like everybody that's going to do this is going to have somebody like a Dave in order to be able to show other properties and to be able to show the images. And I'm actually going to need to spend some time with Dave because seriously, I just like your cat actually licking the water, that was like the best. I mean, I was like, are we seeing this live or what is it? So,
can I just add, this changes the entire concept and process of training new staff. If you've got a new salesperson, if you've got a new, leasing agent that's trying to lease a property or whatever the case is, you can actually be there and live and watch them and prompt them to ask these questions and get an offer out of them or whatever the case is. And let's add it to another level. So back in the office, instead of training, imagine if you've got the vendor, the person who owns the property, watching the people coming through the property, and you'd be able to give that feedback directly.
Well, yeah, that's actually another thing I didn't even think about. You could have the actual owner of the property jump in and answer questions and say, hey, if they wanted to, if they chose to, some people might feel a little weird about that and they might not want, but some might want to. Some might want to jump in and say, hey, you probably need to point out the fact that we've got a tennis court out back and talk about that.
Don't forget to tell them about the alarm system or the solar panels or whatever,
I was thinking security features. What security features do the home that he has, that he's showing?
They could talk about the neighbours more. Look, these neighbours have lived here for 15 years. These ones is a great school. My kids went there all their life. That stuff, only so much a salesperson can remember because they're trying to sell 10, 15 houses at once. So, this is, the layers, the levels that just having, for it, etc.
Well, we just had it happen impromptu today. We didn't even mean for it to happen, and we had that guy just show up at the property, and Greg was on his earbuds, and we're hearing what the guy's saying, and then immediately went into coach mode.
That's pretty cool.
It's quite funny, Ryan, if you don't mind me saying. I thought I heard somebody. I thought I heard a knock on the door, and I thought, that's strange. And this man was here from a city 5 hours drive away, and he was just driving by a couple of properties. He didn't see the live stream, but he loved it. And in fact, what was ironic was that he was walking around the house taking a video so he could show his wife when he goes back. Now, if they could, he said to me while he was here, "What's great technology?" Because being from someone from out of town, he could see what I was doing, and he loved it.
See, there you go. So he is an excellent candidate for this exact platform because he's 5 hours away. He would not be able to see this any other way than where it was convenient, unless he was able to do this over live stream. He would be able to be there, and he could show his wife now. And Greg, if he wasn't the listing agent for this property, he could potentially sell the property because he basically is the one who's going to be able to connect. Because Greg's the only one who knows this technology.
Yeah. He could have actually saved the guy a 5-hour drive.
Yeah. So now here's the key, Greg. You can say, look, I'm going to set up another blab for you and your wife, so your wife can see this, and that way you'll get the sale. You'll get at least a co-bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great.
I'm just saying, I'm just saying if you're trying to rent it, maybe, but I mean, if you're selling it, imagine being a co-broker. Then you're gonna get, just because you know the technology. That other guy doesn't know how to do it.
Yeah, I was thinking.
Can I? Yeah, sorry.
Go ahead. No.
Oh no, I was just going to say that the great thing about this for realtors who are listening, and you can apply it to your own business as well if you're not a realtor, but for realtors who are watching, if I'm a salesperson, I'm going to somebody to try and list their house for sale, to try and talk to them about why I should sell their house. Isn't this a fantastic tool? I've been using it in my field of rental properties, and when I show people this, it just blows away the opposition. And all of us who are listening and watching today, whatever business we're in, have the opportunity to be market leaders and create those unique selling points that will make people tick the box, sign the paperwork, and work with us. Sorry, Nick, you're going to say something?
No, well, I had told Ryan previously, my brother's a real estate agent up here in California, Northern California. And he comes through our office maybe once a month, showing this to, showing the office space to people. And we're in what is it, A-class building, I think is what they call it. And I thought, man, if you walk through it once or twice, with what Greg's doing here, and you had that recorded and you had that, on your website or something like that, what a great way to show it, especially for those, San Francisco. We got people from San Francisco coming over here all the time. Why fight the traffic when you could view this right on somebody's website or on their Periscope feed or Blab feed or whatever? And I love the idea, Ryan and Dennis, where if you have somebody like Dave Stockley, who can set it up and show another property and then break it off into another blab where those interested in that property can move over to that blab and view that property. What a great way to expand your audience.
Totally. I've got to be able to do that, and I want to meet with Dave to find out what, I think he's probably using, is he using ManyCam? Dave, if Dave's still in the house.
Let me back out if he's still here.
No, that's all right. I mean, that's all right. Nick, I think it's great.
Nick, you stay, Nick, just because Dave's in an office situation where he probably won't be able to talk easily anyway, or if he does, we'll get feedback just because of the technology I know he's using. But Dave,
that's the boss saying, keep him working.
Yeah, Dave, haven't you got something else you should be doing?
Yeah, right.
Haven't you got emails and properties to sell? And
Right. Exactly. Well, this is good. I just wanted to come in here and just, again, we keep pushing the envelope and learning more every time. And Dennis, I think that you learned another, just another really great concept tonight, in that you can seriously, you can set up a blab. You can help your property owners go and actually do these kind of walkthrough tours, and obviously upload those to YouTube. And what you can do is you can coach them. I would actually suggest, Dennis, that you make sure that they have an open house so that you can actually coach them through, how they're communicating with them, and that you can have some live, prospects there.
That was very cool.
So just a question back. You can't do a private blab. Is that right?
You cannot do a private blab.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
it's public. Yeah.
You can do a private Periscope though.
And by the way, you can do. Now, let me say this: the person, just to answer your question from earlier, you do have to have a Twitter account in order to log in, either on Chrome or your phone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I switch between iOS and desktop. I'm on desktop right now, but I was watching this. I don't know if you guys saw, but I was watching you both on iOS and on iPhone Plus. And the video quality that Greg had was actually quite impressive, even on the 6 Plus. So that was, from my perspective, I was thinking, how does this look even in the smaller device? And it still looked pretty good.
Thanks for the feedback.
Before we wrap up, I do want to make it so that we go just to Greg at the end, because I want to show you guys that when we record this, that it actually pops open when we actually upload this to YouTube, and it takes up almost the full 16:9 video on YouTube when you upload it, which is very, very interesting to note. So what you could do, and this is why I keep saying that Blab really is, I think, the perfect live stream platform for real estate. I'm going to go on record saying that. Ryan, the embed web code can also come into play. Yes. The embed code is going to be absolutely huge, guys, because here's what you want to do, Dennis. When you get the embed code, when you get the embed code and you take the blab with the comments and you can put them into your own web page, and you can drive people to your own web page, and you can get all that time on site on your website and keep them on your property. So it'd be accelerateyourmarketing.com/livestream. And that's where everybody goes to see your live stream properties. And right below that, what you do is you actually put in there, you put in an opt-in, okay? You put in an opt-in there for where people can opt in to learn more about the property. And then basically you've got everything in one page. They don't even go anywhere. All they need to do is go to that page, and below that, they have the opt-in, and then they learn about all your other properties below that as well.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So there's, then it becomes, it becomes a very, very powerful tool. And I think that, with this concept of when somebody's interested in the hot seat and they say, I want to learn more about Greg's property. And then that person that's at the central headquarters goes, okay, we're creating another blab, and here's the link. And you put it in the comments, go over here if you want to learn about property 1 that Greg's showing. Go here if you want to learn about property 2 that Nick's showing, and go here, for property 3 that Ryan's showing, and we're going to break off, and then it's just boom.
Mm-hmm.
And then yeah, you put the list. So Kevin Leonard's back on again. Kevin, let me know if you want to jump in or if you have any questions. I wish you had seen what we just went through. Dennis actually coached Greg through an entire basically like sales process with the guy that walked in off the street to actually buy the property.
We're gonna laugh about it for a long time.
Yeah. I'm gonna pop out to give him some time to come in.
Okay, Nick. Thanks
guys. Man. Thanks, Nick.
Okay, bye. So that was really, really cool. So Kevin, let me know. We're only going to stay on a few more minutes here. Let's see, Lori. Yeah, Lori. Hope to see you on here soon. I know you've been going through some stuff there. So yeah, just sending our thoughts out to you. I see some of the comments in there. And then yeah. So Kevin, give me your feedback, brother. I want to hear. Kevin is a high-end realtor in the Palm Beach area here in South Florida. You can see he's Palm Beach Island real estate broker and founder of Valor Group. How do you get – okay, by the way, Kevin, if you want to put a question in, which is another little blab tip, you can put – it's / question, QUES question. Hold on. And then so you can see how I just put that. So you put / question, and that way – it puts that little box around the question, so it highlights it. And if anybody, by the way, Kevin, wants to change the topic, you can change the topic at any time by putting / topic in, and anybody can change the topic as well. So see how Sulam. Okay, so question: how do you get? Okay, there. Thank you for reformatting it. So how do you get prospects other than those in your database?
Can I answer that?
Yeah, go ahead.
If that's okay. So your marketing, your online marketing, when you actually advertise a property, see in Australia we have realestate.com. So where you actually do your standard property advertising through website portals. Well, you need to actually put the codes and train them about the blab in the wording. So at the bottom or at the top, you can say we do live streamlines of our properties. Go to find out more. So it's about training them from the earliest point possible and having that information on your website as well. So because when people are going to a portal to look for a vacant property for sale or for rent, they've got they might not necessarily be actually on your database yet. Yeah, that's a great point. Basically, yeah. So you might have people, not on your database to be able, you only have to put a Q. Yeah, you don't have to write. Yeah. So does that make sense? Does that make sense, Kevin? Hopefully you only have to. I want to see. Okay. Hey, Lori.
I'm okay, guys. I'm just a little ill.
Okay. No.
Nice to see you.
Just want to say hi.
Yeah.
Eat some kiwi fruit, high in vitamin C.
Oh, that sounds good, actually. I don't have any, but that sounds really good.
Actually, can I just follow on with a little bit about Kevin's question?
Yes.
Bearing in mind, Kevin, not only would it be superb for your market, I would believe, I imagine people from out of state or out of town there'd be a lot of buyers there. So not only would it be perfect for that, but it's also, I guess, a matter of letting the market know that you're the only option for doing this. And in other words, it's if you can get on board now and get the word out by whatever methods you can, whether it's even going to the newspapers, online reports, just ways of saying, look at what we're doing, isn't it fantastic? And hope that the story gets picked up. Yeah, social media as well as normal media. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's on my to-do list is to try and get the local media to pick up on it. And you just never know. It is something that's so interesting that the general public might be really quite interested in knowing.
No. This right here, what we're doing is absolutely, make no mistake about it. If the general news is trying to just talk about Periscope, they haven't even figured out Blab yet. I mean, this concept of actually showing a property, showing multiple properties, make no mistake about it. Any local news agency would love to run a story on a realtor doing something like this. There is no question about it. I mean, and Kevin, it's / question. So you got to put the / in first of the question. But can you provide examples of lead funnels?
Thanks for following, Dan.
Yeah. PPC ad to drive people to Blab. Okay, we don't have any lead funnels, but here, let me show you. So, great question though, Kevin. So you would want here's what you would want. You would want a landing page, Kevin, that, and I would love to bring you in here. I know you're having some time with your family or something. That's the beauty of this, right? Is you can just listen in the background. You don't even have to be like in. But what's really cool, Kevin, is that you need to have some sort of a lead magnet where you put in a custom URL landing page that you can drive people to, because ultimately you need to have an offer. Okay. That's the bottom line is you need to have an offer that you can send people so that they will want to sign up on your landing page. So like you would have, like for me, it's periscoperyan.com. If you want, all the gadgets and stuff like that, I've got 1,000 opt-ins for my Periscope Ryan, people that have given their name and email just because of, just there you go. Like Dennis is one of them.
I have to get
everybody's got their, yeah. Everybody's got their little scope sack. Everybody's got their, yeah. So, and there you go. So everybody needs whatever their equivalent of that is. And so, Kevin, you just need to come up with whatever that is. And whether you're using Infusionsoft, whether you're using, and Sonia's another realtor. So Sonia, thanks for joining. Whether you're using, doesn't matter what you're using. I mean, you just need to know because what we're getting eyeballs. And for you, I would make it your list of your properties. So you can go to Great View Lake Homes, and I'll show you. This is like what we do. If you go, we can send people to Great View Lake Homes. Okay, I think this is it. Great View Lake. GreatHomes.lakehomes.com. If you go there, you'll see that we actually have all of our properties right there, and you can text a certain number, a hashtag number to a phone number, and that way you can find out more about those properties. So that would be a great lead magnet, and you would want to have the option of being able to say, "Hey, text the word homes to 58885." Yeah. We got all, see, everybody's got, these guys are, you can see who my buddies are. They've all got the same stuff.
Yeah. Have you guys just noticed that look how much you can see of me now, because this actually fits over the top of the laptop.
There's a spot on that.
Yeah, I did notice that. I need to clean it. But the idea is it's a bit dirty. My daughter's been playing with it. But the thing is, it's primed. This is perfect for laptops as well, I mean, that can go over the top of a Galaxy phone or whatever, but and you can change the lenses. So if you wanted a smaller lens, you can put the smaller lens on there. I don't know. I normally like to keep the big one on there because if I'm presenting on stage somewhere, you can. It's a lot easier to see. It stands out a lot more.
Hey, Kevin. Yeah, hey, Kevin. I'm not going to send you the lens info. Just go to periscoperyan.com and use our funnel. So, Kevin, just go to Periscope, Periscope, periscoperyan.com, and there you go. That's how you get all the links. So just go and experience our funnel. I always try to tell people, I try to model good behavior. Okay, so I want you guys to see exactly. I want you to model. You asked what kind of a funnel would you use? I'd use a funnel just like Periscope Ryan. So go there, experience it, get the links that you need to get all the stuff that you need. I think you see the power of what we're doing here. And what I'm willing to do is I'm just spending my time to build a case study. We got Kevin Madison in here in the house, which is great. I'm just spending my time because I want to build a case study of examples of to show people how this stuff works and why it's going to work for real estate. I mean, everybody that we see, I think everybody would agree that this works for real estate. Don't you think, Lori?
Oh, yes. I mean, I have narcolepsy, and that would, to give a realtor, that would be fundamentally awesome.
Yeah, right. Yeah, you could see properties and yeah. So Kevin,
can I just say something, Ryan, in a moment?
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
I was just going to say that, and you can see I'm actually coming through a fisheye lens at the moment, but when I turn this around, I've got a wide-angle lens. I just want to show you the difference. You'll notice that you may not know, but I'm actually filming in portrait view, not landscape. It's because of Blab. It's easier that way. If I take this off, you watch. You can see two windows. Look at the difference. And it's just for one of these little lenses. So let me put that back on. You can see four windows. Look at the size. It's not unrealistic, which is great because I'm not a fan of unrealistic Realtor photos. So anyway, I just wanted to mention that you can just clip that straight on the phone, or any staff can. Anyway, sorry. I'll stop talking. Let someone else.
No, that's great. No, the only reason why
the process is about speeding up the process for leasing and selling properties. So what's really funny is you can apply for a loan, within minutes, like an hour. You can apply for a loan and have a home loan approved or whatever the case is. But to buy a house, it takes so much longer to actually buy or even lease a property. So that gap and speed that process up as quick as we can. People don't necessarily have to actually turn up to a property because they're getting that feel through this video and by asking questions. If it's an investor buying a property, they don't care about the feel of the home. They just want to know that it's actually in good condition and what the return is. So those guys aren't even going to want to come, You've got a nice, good long arm there too, Greg.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, just showing Victoria that it can make you look slimmer.
I love it. Well, so I want to wrap this up, and just before we leave, so any other questions? Any other comments? And actually, the fisheye. In all seriousness, I mean, you put your arm out there. I mean, it really does. You look like you can see a lot.
On slim.
Yeah, right. Slims you out, right? So
think of
Kevin,
a selfie stick and
it looks like it. There's not. See, that's the other great thing is that there's not. You don't see like the jitteriness of your hand. It doesn't feel like it's you're just like right up. So yes, love that. Okay, let's see. Any other questions? Final questions before we wrap up here. Anybody else have any questions? And I just appreciate. I want to say again, Greg, great job. Same time, same place next week. Hopefully we can get another property. Now, it'd be great to get 2 in. Let me know what other questions you guys have, and you can always DM me on Twitter if you have any questions. I'd love to get some more realtor examples. Kevin, I really want to do this with you. Kevin, if you would actually show up same time, same place next week. And Christian, I know you've got a huge list of realtors. Please, I want to keep showing more people because, look, why wouldn't you want to do this? It's like it takes, 20, 30 minutes to do this? It's a no-brainer. It's like, why not get out there and at least just try it and see what happens. So I'm just looking for other examples of people doing this. I need some more people to basically take me up on this offer. So if you guys know any other realtors that would like to participate, please invite them. You'll see, if you go to my profile, you'll see that I have another one scheduled for next week. And I just want to actually, am I doing it? We do it every Wednesday at the same time. So if you guys could just go ahead and show up next week, same time, same place. I'd love to get some more examples of this. Yeah.
It does work for the S6. If you just see on mine, I've got the standard 6, and you can see that it stretches out, so it will fit the 6 Plus.
Yeah.
So just answering the question there that Dan Goodwin's asked. So that's the Jellyfish tripod. Yeah,
that's awesome. That's the Jellyfish, and that's an awesome tool. Basically, you have a whole setup here for less than $170. If you go to periscoperyan.com, you can get all this stuff, and that way. Now, obviously, you wouldn't use this for Blab because you've got to be able to hear. And I use this for Periscope. This is for Periscope. These you would use. This obviously you'd use for any type of live streaming. But it really does help. So, guys, awesome job, Greg. Thank you. And yeah, this is what I'm gonna send out to people that wanna learn more. So, good work. Okay, awesome, guys. Thank you, and let's talk soon. Okay.
Thanks. No worries.
Thanks. See you later.
All right, guys. Awesome job.
Take it easy.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
See you later, Greg.
See you later. I'm just hanging around so people can see that this is going to go to full screen. So if you if you jump off, and we'll go. See you then. So just to show what Ryan was talking about, if I'm the only one here, I haven't let anybody join in, then this does go to full screen. So we'll just finish up with that. Sun's just come out on cue. Been wonderful having you along. Take care, everybody. But please feel free to follow me I love doing fun stuff and love the interactions. Thanks for watching.